Welcome our esteemed viewer to topic number 7 in this fantastic series on the book Family Mission. The topic is entitled Disciplining Children. Now, this is a very contentious topic and very many people are ignorant concerning what the Word of God says in matters of disciplining and punishment of children. And to make it even now worse, the world today is full of human rights. People are confused. But we thank God in His Word, there is guidance. Now, straight on to the topic. What is disciplining? Disciplining is the systematic training of a child to obey authority. As simple as that. To very many people, actually that's according to the dictionary, to very many people, what comes to their mind when they think about disciplining is beating up their child. But that's not the case. Discipline, I'll repeat, is systematic training of a child to obey the authority. The authority at home, the authority at school, the authority of the government, and so forth. While punishment is remedying a wrong, trying to correct someone who has done a mistake. That is correction. And when you inflict some form of pain or something like that, that is punishment. So the two should never be confused. We are supposed to be proactive parents, not reactive. Discipline looks towards the future, while punishment is remedying something that is wrong, curing a mistake that has already occurred. And as we said, when you see a child who is well-mannered, it's not an accident. Most probably the parent is putting in something, doing something. And if you see a child who is ill-mannered, most probably the parent is not doing whatever they're supposed to do. And most parents are very quick to discipline rather than punishing. But that should not be the case. We should be leading in disciplining our children, training them to obey the authority. Now, however faithful as a parent you can be in disciplining your children, once in a while they may do a mistake. In the previous topic, we talked about God's remedy for disciplining our children, which is conducting evening, morning devotions, praying with our families, instructing them in the words of righteousness. And the Bible, we said, is the only book that has been calculated to provide a well-rounded whole person, because it touches on each and every aspect of our life. Now, when a child goes wrong, there are 3 kinds of parents' reaction. The first one is the soft parents, the liberal parents, the laissez-faire parents. These are parents whom when a child does something, they just look and ignore. It's as if nothing happened. They see everything, but they cannot do anything. They fear that if they try to correct, if they try to speak out, they will hurt the feelings of the child. And therefore they don't do anything. They just say most of the time, the child is still kiddish. When the child grows up, they will overcome the bad behaviors. That is on one extreme. Then on the other extreme, we have a parent who is a dictator, too harsh. These ones are extremely harsh. Their words are the law. The slightest mistake is heavily punished and instantly. These are parents whom to every problem is a hammer, is a nail that needs a hammer. In such homes, you'll find kids are living under a lot of fear, because they fear their parents can discover a mistake at any moment, and they know the mistake will be punished instantly and harshly. Rarely do such parents even converse with their children, have honest conversations, sitting down, talking, storytelling, laughing, and so forth, because the parent is very tough. Even if the children were happy in the home, then the parent comes, everybody disappears to his room and cowers and hides. Now, all these extremes are not the right way of parenting according to the Word of God. That first parent who is indulgent, who buys for the child all the things that they require, the gifts and so forth, and this one who is very harsh, both of them are not the right way. The true Christian parent is somewhere there in the middle. I love this counsel, written in 1887. If we err, that is if we make a mistake, let it be on the side of mercy rather than on the side of condemnation and harsh dealing. a book called Ministry of Healing 196.3. Remember, kindness will accomplish more than censure. You know, the God who created human beings knows well, understands well that the human mind listens more to the voice of love rather than that voice of harsh dealing and dictatorship and condemnation and censure. That's why in the Bible, if you just try to analyze, there are texts that talk about love. There are texts that talk about the fire and punishment that will come to sinners. If you try to evaluate between the two, which one outnumber the other? Of course, the text about love. In fact, the most common verse in the world says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." The Bible is all about love. God trying to woo sinners back to himself through the force of love, not through fire. If God knew punishment can bring people closer to him, the whole of Genesis chapter 1 will be just fire, fire, fire is coming. When you reach Deuteronomy, it will be, "I will burn this world, I won't spare anything." It will just be threats, threats. But those verses are just a handful. Most of the Bible is God trying to bring us back to him. And as human beings, we need to learn that and apply even in our families. Our kids will listen more to the voice of love rather than the voice of condemnation and harsh dealing. How are you dealing with your children? Don't be a dictator. Make friends with them. Speak with them in the voice of love. Keep tuned in.